Shalom, everyone, and welcome to the seventh episode of Africa Logistical Agency, right, bro, Mike? Africa Logistical Agency with a K.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, Gar?
I'm good, bro, Mike. How are you?
I can't complain. Not complain. Just different day. I'm at my best life.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Uh, as you know, I wanted to speak about some current events that is affecting African Americans more so. I mean, I'm quite sure other people get affected by it, but we as a people we get hit and we feel the pain the most. And it's the issues that we never deal with every day. Um, we hear about uh, the police taking someone's, deleting someone here and there, and it affects us. It does. Whether we know that person intimately or just from the news, but it's their skin tone that affects us because we as a people we know that we're that target. It's like the world well, the world has it that there's a hatred that continues to fester with this world, and unfortunately they take it out on us. They take it out on us, and we send these things on a near about daily basis. We hear about people talking about there was two officers that got fired recently. They made some racist comments about how they wish and hoping will be glad once this civil war starts so they can delete people of color. You have people that is nursing hatred against you. And see, you may have some black people. They may say, "No, we need some order." That's true. And then you may be one of those persons who live in a rough neighborhood. I've been there before. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. Um, and you may have the individuals say, "No, I don't blame the police and so and so this and so and so that." But when that deletion comes up under your roof and it's your child, now you're starting to feel the pain that other people feel. When you know for a fact that your child, whether that child had a disability or not, but when that child was not in the wrong, you feel the wrong of the actions of policemen.
Yeah,
Period.
and you coming in a little choppy, but I could still hear you. Just a slight choppy,
You know
but
what, man? It just hold on. It always does that, and at this particular time. Um, Let me see something. Hold on, just for a moment. What about now?
yeah, you're fine. And as far as this, bro, Mike, I'm not gonna lie. I really haven't been keeping abreast with this story. I only watched the Yakoba show yesterday. Um, as far as it pertains to the the details of the stories and what um transpired. It really, as bad as this may sound, it really doesn't surprise me. I'm not shocked. I mean, I can't say that it makes me any more angry than I already am. This really is just another way to wake up the people who aren't on this, I guess, I don't, for lack of a better term, wavelength. I mean, I understand they're, coming for us, and, it's just going to intensify. For me, that just makes me inspired to just do this work even harder and get us in a position to where we can just leave this system and, start something
Yes.
new and better that the Most High has planned for us. But at the same time, I understand that people are suffering, and they are purposely trying to, you know take as many of us
What
as they can, and I
you
understand
know?
the like the whole thing about people are mad and angry and tired and kind of you know
Well, yeah.
just
I mean,
fed up.
it should be that way because you have unemployment. Blacks unemployment rate is the highest. Now, you take unemployment along with an unjustified deletion, that it holds weight. It holds weight, and that weight is nothing but absolute stress. That's all it is. Until one day, that bubble of that stress is sitting in is going to burst. You're already at that point. Now you have African Americans now in survival mode. That's not a good thing for a nation. When they become in survival mode, um, that rotation of the dollar, it slows down very dramatically. And African Americans was number one in doing that. But when you affect that group of people, you affect your own bottom line. That's all they did. And now we see the storm that comes, a very big storm. You're hearing the politician, you're hearing these, oh, what is it? 2025. 2025 has already started for those that do not know. It's already started. They're letting you know in your face what their plans are and what they are hoping to achieve. There was one politician said he wanted to bring back hanging. I believe he was from Tennessee. Now, what Mississippi is talking about, it is ridiculous. But we're hearing this nearby every single day. Now, my whole purpose of bringing this up in this conversation is we need to start to look and plan ahead. Don't let somebody just come in front of your face and slap you. You see them walking up to you. You take precaution. And we we need to start taking better precaution. This country is showing us. Let me just back up. Let's just say um, you worked a hard, you went to work, you had a nice day at work, you came back home, you relaxed, and you got a nice, your place is laid out. Very, very nice house, decent job, you got food in your refrigerator, and you sitting there in your place relaxing, watching a little TV or listening to some music, whatever fit your fancy. Now, you are relaxing yourself. Well, one day you get a knock at your door. Now, this is just hypothetically, just an example, and it's the police. And you say, yes, man, I help you. And you being, polite, cordial. We got a call about a disturbance from this address. There's nothing disturbing on here. But imagine, truthfully, we don't even have to imagine that. That can go from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. You can say, oh, well, there's no problem here. Well, man, we see your identification. Why do I need to see my identification? You came to my house. But when it comes to us, things can go from 0 to 100, and you can be sitting there minding your business. Who would ever imagine that? That means that may be the day a deletion take place. We will have to, we need to give more thoughts to what this world is telling us and how we need to move. It's letting us know. Yeah, we've been here, 400 years? It's letting us know, you're no longer welcomed. We never was welcome, truthfully, in things, only to serve a need for this Western world. Now you have everybody. I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but we do have a concern, a personal concern, that we need to really start looking at these things. One sister said earlier that she's doing research, praying to make sure that she make a good decision of finding a safe place in Africa. There is no safe place in Africa, but I understand what the sister is saying, though. And like I said, travel or move about as a group, not by yourself. There's more strength in a group than coming by yourself. And I know of some stories where brothers and sisters moved to different parts of Africa, and their experience was not a real good experience.
Yeah,
Some,
because
you know,
they went on their own and they didn't ingratiate themselves with the community. And at the same time, here, we may live amongst each other, but some of us are just like segregated by class. Well, mostly by class. Not all of us are living amongst one another in a community. I mean, maybe there's some few, I mean, not few, there's some communities where that are predominantly black, and then you have
mhm.
different sectors or places, major cities where, I mean, there's some of us living there, but majority of us aren't there. So it's just like a different mindset when you're not amongst your own. You kind of have to just, you know, survive and try to fight for whatever scraps they give you. And then you have that mentality wherever you go, whenever you're going out of your bubble called America, you still have that mindset instead of, doing what the other nations do, getting to know one another, knowing one another's family, making personal relationships within your community in order to help it thrive. That's what we have to get back to, regardless if it starts here, but eventually it's going to end up in the continent, and that's where we'll
Yeah,
have to.
exactly. And I think that's the most important thing that I'm looking at. I spoke with my sister, and she was telling me how she in the process of getting her passport. as well as my brother. My brother, he noticed some things that's going on. He was saying, "Hey, man, seem like they getting all geeked up over this Civil War thing." And he was talking about, white people. And I'm like, well, man, yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. And so my sister, she said, I'm like, she was looking into her account of 401k. And she had a certain amount of money. She knew she did. She just went in to check and see how it was doing. Come to find out she lost $1,000 due to the markets, because you know that the 401 is based off the market. Market go up, it goes down, it goes down. And I said, and I told her, I said, well, um, you got to start making decisive decision as to your longevity, uh, your livelihood. This is where we at right now. I mean, I know of individuals that has a concern. I went to school with this one guy, and he has like $2 million homes. And that's what he told me. He said, man, I'm entertaining the fear, the way the world is going, that one of the houses is paid for. He said, but he's entertaining the fear that neither houses are not going to be worth what they are worth at this present point.
You
And the
kind of
world is saying, yeah,
you said he was saying it might not be worth it to build a house in America. Is that what you're basically saying?
no, 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 no. He has two homes. One of them
Yeah.
is paid off, and but both of the homes are worth $1 million a piece. He's up on the assumption, and his assumption is correct, that eventually, if he don't with the money, take the money out of the houses and move that money about, he's going to lose it, and he is.
Yeah.
The world is telling you what's going on with the dollar. They are giving us, man, I tell you, they putting it in front of our face. They put it in movies. They letting you know in the news. But my encouragement to brothers and sisters, look into you doing something on the continent where you can start a business. And this is the thing. It is not that you have to move to Africa. You just got somebody that's going to run the business for you while you are abroad. So in the event that you have to make your exit, you're making an exit with your income already there. Your business is already there. These are the things that we need to think about.
Your relationships
Seriously.
and community are
Exactly.
already there.
Exactly. These are the things we have to really start looking at. Now, I understand it, and it's not going to be well, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but it's going to be mind provoking, because the actions of people is going to have us moving kind of quick. That's what's going to happen. We're going to move
Yeah.
kind of quick. Let the events keep on getting worse, and they are going to get worse. You're talking about a civil war on top of a world war. You're talking about a continent fighting within itself, plus a world war. That's total annihilation. That is absolute destruction. Why in the world would I plan to keep roots in a place it's already letting it be known? It's going to be desolate,
But bro, Mike, it's
and you're
all
not
about
welcome there.
a
Uh-huh.
a changing of the mind. So it doesn't matter if we are not ready, as long as we have the mindset to get ready. The Most High will help us finish the rest, and we'd be able to do what we need to do. As long as we have
Yeah,
the mindset, that's the most important thing, because that mindset is really, even working amongst Quest United Africa and the volunteers and the leaders. And you see how you're around brothers and sisters that you know give you that positive mindset and that better way of thinking, you realize, you understand that it all starts in your mind. You have to change your thinking in order to have a more kingdom mindset.
Exactly. And and don't get me wrong. Um, we all have a particular, or we have our own individual lifestyles. We do. Um, it's not going to be like no overnighter. It's not. It's not. It's not something that you just go jump up with the majority of people. That you jump up and say, I'm going to do this and do that. No, it takes planning. It takes planning. That's what it takes. Now, but when the situation is getting out of hand, then that's when you got to make some very fast, decisive adjustment, and decisions quick, because your life or your livelihood is going to depend upon it. It's going to. Let's not get complacent with the situation that's going on with us. And when I say us, anybody that fit the banner of an African American.
Or
And
anyone,
then lately,
or anyone throughout the
yes,
diaspora who's African. Basically, anyone who's from whose motherland, I mean, the homeland is Africa.
yes. And I mean, and this is where we at now. This is where we at. They're showing themselves. The last time the world or this nation needed us, what year was that? Um, when those two planes flew into the building. What year was
Yeah,
that?
2001.
2001. And now, 24 years later, where are we at? 24 years. This is 2020. 2024. Now, I never will forget, at that particular time, African Americans was the United States best friend.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was
They
11,
they
12 at the
needed us.
time, I understand, like, they, I mean,
Yes.
well, they pretty much just, took away all their phobias and isms away from us and just directed it to another group, and you know pretty
Yes, they
much
did.
literally.
But I mean, hey, but I'm gonna tell you this, Garth. This is what they did. But once the smoke settled and people was getting over the shell shock of the incident, they went right back to doing what they do best
Hmm.
against black people. That's what they did. Now this time it's different. This time they just flat out letting you know what they want. They want a civil war. And truthfully, I'm just trying to figure out and understand, what did black people do to you to cause a civil war? The people that's talking about it, that has this hatred, they're looking for a mass deletion of people of color. The world is saying this. And I just want poor people to hold that close to them, knowing that you may have a nice house, you may have a nice car, a nice family, and you may live in a nice neighborhood when there are not a lot of blacks. You may be that person. I'm not knocking where you live at. But when the time comes, are you ready to leave? Because now things are they're getting out of hand. This is what we have to ask ourselves. And this is what we at right now. We are at that time. Any day now, something can pop off and you have an issue on your hands. And if you are a father and you have a family, that responsibility falls upon you first and foremost of protecting your family. That's what falls upon. And then don't it does not depend upon your how much money you make on your job. That responsibility is yours and yours alone. We gonna have to think further than the present. This guy sent me a video today, and this black guy was speaking about how Chinese they spend that dollar would stay within a community for was it 28 days? I believe it was 28 days. It could have been longer. 28 days. And he went down every nationality, how they hold on to the dollar, because they spend it within themselves. But he got down to our people. And this is not to knock our people down. It's really to pick our people up. The dollar stays within the African American community for 6 hours. 6 hours. That's how long it stays there. This is the reason why the dollar was rotating. We was not spending that dollar within ourselves. We were spending with everybody else outside of us. Now, when you speak about us and saying, hey, this is how we need to come together, the world will call me a racist, but the world practice that. They practice moving that money within their community. I don't care what nationality of people, they're going to rotate that dollar within their community. We do not do that. And a lot of it been orchestrated. A lot of it been been embedded in our line of thinking when it comes to our brothers and sisters. And this brother, he said it. We will have to start, and we will have to make it a fight to start trusting our brothers and sisters off the top.
Yep, it's
Hands
all
down, we're
about,
gonna have to start doing that.
again, it's all about the mindset and the willing to. And then, you know, this is warfare. I mean, we start with our mind, the war, we create thinkers. That's how you win a war. You create that's the art of war. We create thinkers and people who are willing to get the shackles off their mind of whatever Western powers have put into them, and have, trust that mindset to um, war against whatever principalities or isms you want to call it in the modern world that they've put on us in order for us not to work together. It's a war. It's a war. It's a war. It's a war against, it's a war for our mind, and it's there do anything to make it bad for us to come together. So we have to use our minds to fight against whatever, you know, isms or things that they implanted in us, and that's how you start the war. I mean, that's how you fight back. Given weapons of wars with our mind, and then everything coincides with working with one another. Then you create, economic warfare against those communities who've created economic warfare against you by working together. And then once you work together, you become a nation, and once you become a nation, you have your own freedom, and then you get autonomy, and you'll be able to survive. That's what they've been doing
You
off of
know,
us.
you know, um, that's what we need to do off the top. And it sounds easy, um, but it's not because um, we gonna have to make it. I do know of individuals that do their part. They do online shopping. They make sure that like so things of that nature. They try to make it a habit of buying black products, and I take my hat off to those brothers and sisters. They want to try to, they're attempting to do what they need to do in order for us to come together. And it may sound tedious or small, but no, it's large because eventually it's going to grow. And see, they can call us racist all they want because now you choose to do business with people that look like you. The world will call you a racist because you are choosing to do business with another black woman or black man. And we still have hurdles to jump over in doing business with our brothers and sisters. We still have to maintain shrewdness. We got to. We got to maintain that. But the greater thing that we have in front of us right now is this hatred that's against us, and we seeing it and witnessing it, and we need to start preparing ourselves to dodge the flames of all of this hatred. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to practice.
Or better yet,
if you
brother
talking about
Mike,
a full,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Better yet, we ignore their hatred when we start choosing to love one another, and only love can overcome hatred. So we don't need to worry about the hatred. We just need to love one another.
Well, I'm saying the hatred. I'm saying the hatred in this respect. That hatred can, can cause a deletion.
Oh well,
That's
yeah.
what they can cause, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about because it's going to get to a point. Because now you may hear individuals, um, and now you're hearing people saying it a lot more. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Latino. All right, cool. Oh, I'm not black. I'm a Somalian. And for the people that can see, we see, we drop our head and we keep it moving. But trust me, the days are going to come. The world are going to be wishing that they had our color. That's a known fact. They're gonna be saying, "Oh no, 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 no! I'm not Latino. I'm black. I'm a descendant of Africans." Right now, don't nobody want to claim that because they feel that we are on a losing team, and it do seem that way. It do. At the bottom of the bucket, people hate us, but we know for a fact that bottom of the bucket, those days are gone. It's time for us to stand up and move on. Be about our business. Be about our business. And they do not like that at all. They do not like it. And they shouldn't like it. Because the day or the moment we stand up, what's that? This brother in Nigeria, where he can take the static electricity out of the air and convert and move it to a television where it's not even plugged up to any electrical outlet, and the TV works. Where did this brother get that? Where did he get that information? How did he come up with that? Because now when you have all these black minds start to come together, the inventions, they will run wild.
You know, they talk about black jobs. There'll be no more black inventions. Where's it all? You know,
Yeah, okay.
they'll they'll be sad when all the black inventions are gone, like AC and the traffic light and the computer, the internet. Oh man, I could go on.
And the thing about it is, and I'm quite sure they know. The
Oh
world
yeah,
knows.
of course they do.
The one you let it. You're if you're on a continent where they're getting all of these minerals in order for them to put them in their the equipment that they make, copier machines, laptops, cell phones, stoves, refrigerators, all of that stuff, and refrigerators. Now, it just made me pause for a moment when I said that, because the majority of brothers and sisters here in Dar, they do not have refrigerators.
And I could tell. I didn't need to even be in Tanzania to know that, because I when I was in Burkina Faso, I mean, I know that maybe that's a little bit, maybe a little bit nicer, but I realized how geez, how bad. I mean, how scarce. You know how, you know, the the availability of water is. It's something
Oh,
that we take for
I mean,
advantage for, and then you realize that's on purpose. You realize, you know, the same way how they're lashing out on us, you know, with the cops and whatever, they do it with the resources as well.
yes, and and they thing about it is, I'm gonna tell you what. If you go back into the days of our ancestors, um, when they was really hanging out with people from trees, and you come up to this very day where you have politicians, businessmen, and all I'm stating the same thing when it comes to Africa. They need to keep it poor. Keeping it poor keeps them rich. If you think I'm joking, brother.
No, same way a
Woo,
pharmacy company gets rich, you know, if they don't, if there isn't a cure, they still stay rich. So, you know,
I mean,
it's if you could, if you kind of just realize if to like simplify it, just think of like the nations as a pharmacy, right? And just think of us as the cure. And they've hidden the cure, they spread the cure out. Us coming together is the cure and the antidote, but they've spread the cure and, little, components of the cure throughout the everywhere. And these people, or the cure doesn't know, once they come into synthesis, they're the antidote. If you so by the pharmacy, by spreading out little little components of the cure, they keep those components and within their control, so they can make money off of those one components of the cure, instead of allowing the antidote to come together to, cause healing. And then in that case, once there's an antidote, you don't need a pharmaceutical company anymore, if that makes sense.
no, no. Exactly what you're talking about. Um, and I was speaking with some doctors here about um the pharmaceutical, and I was speaking with some sisters. I spoke with sisters in the United States, and I spoke with sisters that's here. And I'm gonna tell you the thing that they had in common. Now, neither one of these group of sisters ever spoken to each other. Never spoke on the phone. Nothing. When I talked to the sisters in the United States, they said this: we need to come up with more of a herbal, or come up with our own pharmacy. We don't need all these chemicals in the medicine. This is what the sisters in the United States said. Now, I'm talking to the sisters here. They said the exact same thing. So now, what do you think that's coming from? Recognizing on both sides that there is a problem with the medicines on both ends. And that they're saying we need to come together as one and get our laboratory. We already got the smart people. We already have the doctors. We just need to come together, start putting things together, formulating, and come up with an herbalist pharmacy. Period. This is what we need to work on and work with.
And
Majority of medicine,
that word relationship always keeps popping up.
that's what I'm talking. And see, these are just conversation for the time being. Eventually, they're gonna be more of a reality. It's going to get that way off the top. We're just not gonna be sitting around idle
Yeah.
trying. Oh man, no, I ain't about. I mean, I
Yeah.
talked. I talked to
All these ideas are gonna be implemented sooner than later.
exactly. And some of the things that's already been out there, we just gonna take it. Take the knowledge that we have and apply it to the land to which you are from. I have not seen anyone here or seen on the news where they pull somebody over, an altercation occurred, and somebody got deleted. And when I hear of individuals from the United States, man, I don't want to come to Africa, man. They walk around with AKs. I'm like, y'all walking around with 9 millimeters, and I'm talking about a 13-year-old child. So what you talking?
When I used to work in New York City and used to have to take the subway, I literally saw police with assault rifles in Port Authority almost every day on my commute to work. So come on now. That's not a good excuse. Literally saw that at Port Authority, those cops with rifles and, dogs and stuff like that. So that's not even, that's not real.
We don't know. But here, like in Dar, the people don't walk around here with guns. Only if you work for a bank or you're a policeman, not a traffic policeman, but a police officer that's holding a gun, or you work with the government. Those are the only ones that have guns. I mean, like that. Not everybody. It ain't like the residents are walking around with a
Yeah,
with that on them.
I
And
know
see,
what
this is
they're just, they're just, they're just encapsulated by the image, whatever that they show them on TV when they do watch TV, of the few Africans that they see or whatever rebel groups that they see in Africa,
mhm.
the few images that they show of Africa. So that's probably what they have in their mind. So,
And that's what's on their mind. And then at the same time, they'll show them the man. Let me tell you this, man. It kind of
oh,
frustrated me.
we could
No,
go on a whole.
this incident, no, this incident here happened a couple of weeks ago. I was out and about, and I seen 3 busloads of tourists. 3 busload, but one of the buses broke down. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, what is the bus doing over here? The Serengeti is not over here. The safari? No, I know they're going in the wrong direction. Man, do you know those people riding up and down the streets of this neighborhood, taking pictures of brothers and sisters selling their fruits and vegetables, and it's a dusty. They taking pictures of them like they animals. I mean, all on the way. And I'm like, are you joking me? Like they are primates. What? It's your people that put our people in this position, and you kept them in it. Stand in water. But you go into the neighborhoods where they developed. Man, please. You go there, you ain't gonna see no standing water. That water gonna get drained with the quickness. Period. And I mean, we as a nation of people, we go. It is a must that we start to trust one another and start doing business with one another. And I know that's something that we're not used to. It's something that we need to start getting used to doing because truthfully, the world is going to force us to do it. Whether we want to do it or not, we're going to be forced to do it. We are going to be forced to do it. You have the link, Garth.
The link for the consultation is right here.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yes.
put it in the chat.
Um, you know, and you've I know I ran up on I had a conversation with one sister and she thought it was a anyway, it wasn't a crazy idea because I told her it wasn't crazy, it made sense. And she said, but she was talking to somebody else and they was like, oh, that ain't over there, that don't make no sense. But when the sister was explaining it to me, I took over her conversation. I said, so it seemed like you want to do it this way and this way and then she said, yes, that's what I'm talking about. She knew exactly that I knew what she was talking about. And see, you have to have those individuals who do not just look at the house and say, "Oh man, this house is all torn up and things of that nature." A person who looks at things, I mean, it all depends on your perception. You may think the house is tore up. Another person may go there and like, "Oh man, it's gonna be nice." He said it's going to be nice because he's looking at the bigger picture. He's not looking at the present. He's not looking at the present. He's looking at the potential. That's what we need. We need to get back into our potential. We know who we are. We know we are some smart people, very intelligent people. And the world knows this. Back in the day, they used to talk about the NBA was full of black men. The NFL was full of black men. And if they took all the sports figures and the singers and the actors and everybody moved to Africa, what would the United States be in?
Mhm.
We're the entertainers. We're the
No more,
trendsetters.
no more black entertainment, black singers, black actors, black movies, black entertainment,
If you
black
take,
industry. It's all gone.
let me tell you something, hey, Walt. Me on our Walt, Garth. If you just say, you know what, we go take everything that black people invented. You talking about country music? Yeah, and they got mad at Beyonce when she did that song, but country started with black people. Uh, Hockey. See that? Even though it's yeah, I mean, if you go in the history, you go find out hockey.
Yeah,
No, it got
one.
it got
That's the one I had to get schooled on. Honestly, I didn't know we started hockey, or it was a black man who invented hockey. I had to get
exactly.
thoroughly schooled
But
on that one.
they came in. They came in and they dominated the sport, and all right, okay. But this is what they did. I mean, but we go. It'll be a beautiful thing the moment we wake up and we start making these needed changes. Not just for
Start
you, not for us
fine.
personally, but for the family. Say it again, Garth.
Oh no, I said you realize how powerful our imaginations are, and once we start using it for something like coming together and doing business and things of that nature, we'll be surprised at how much we could get accomplished. But they really, again, it's a willingness to, and you have to be very proactive into changing your mind, just like the scripture said, to change your mind and you to find the perfect will, and that's love.
And that's it. But the world is upset. Of the events in the sin that the brothers on West Africa over to East Africa are taking matters into their
Or
hands.
are they?
They're taking the
I mean,
minerals.
I'm literally on my channel on Friday. I'm about to talk about some of that as well. Africa, the brothers and sisters in Africa are waking up each and every day. Literally, they're talking about the protests. You know, they're inspired from Kenya, Uganda, also Nigeria, and other countries where young people are willing to protest in order to get their voices heard because they're tired. So it's just
Well,
not.
yes, I mean this is the thing about that. You may have young people, but you better trust and believe they got somebody else that's standing behind them. They got somebody behind them, and it's somebody who's pretty much, sharing in with their frustration. Yeah, you have your crooked politician just like you got them in the United States. You got your selfish politician. As much as they got them here, you got them in the United States. And so we thinking um that the West is squeaky clean. The West is no, it's quite filthy. In our history, just our history alone can prove that. Our history alone can prove how insidious it is.
And we got to use
And
our
so,
voices to allow, because they make that history hidden for a reason. But now it's being unfolded like crazy, like a water. You know that the dam is just broken, and all the information about the art conditions all over the world is it's too late. You can't it can't be hidden anymore.
no, it can't. This and I cannot pronounce that sister. Is that? I mean, I ain't gonna say sister, but the comment that she
Noyozeki.
made.
Yeah.
Say it again now.
No Noyozeki, I believe.
Yes, and that's the comment that she made. Yes, they, they're always calling us lazy, ungrateful. Those are two words that's like part of their DNA. It's part of their DNA. When they get down to it, all right, life is going to show them something totally different. That's what life is going to do. You come up with all of these inventions, they stole them through our forefathers into the background, into the dungeons, into the basement, and kept all of that information, as they say, in a grave. Now the grave been turned up. The grave been turned up. The people got into the basement, opened up stuff, things, and now they're exposing a lot of dirt that these nations have kept from the world, and say, hey, these people, you say they, I know when immigrants come to the United States, and I spoke with a few of them, they was always told not to have any dealings with the African American. They was lazy. They said the men they don't take care of their babies. Um, they carry diseases. These are the things this the West has implemented in new citizens coming into the United States, and some fed into it. Some fit into it. And so, in order for any other nation to be against us, they put them in position. If you look at a lot of these chains, when I say change, I'm talking about like restaurants. If I
Oh,
say,
okay. I thought you were about
and
to.
I want
Oh,
you,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say a couple of stores, and you tell me what nationality of people you believe own a lot of these. Subway,
Uh, I'd say Indians. I have no clue.
Exactly. There you go. You're right. Now, I don't know if you have 7-Eleven there.
Yeah,
And
Seven
who
Eleven.
own those? Uh,
I'm all. That's the only. That's what I'm going off of. They do a lot of a lot of Seven
yeah,
Eleven here in Jersey.
a lot of
Small.
7-Eleven, and then you may have some Arabs, but when you come to the gas stations, boom, that's when it comes to the Arabs. So they know how to keep.
Fidelity
Um,
within their community and how to.
yeah, I mean, because if you go to Chicago, whether you're on the west side, south side, you got Arabs in the neighborhood, or you may have a few Chinese too in the neighborhood. They know exactly what they're doing. They was put there for that legitimate reason. These people came in as immigrants, and if they wasn't being treated right, who was the one that came up in their defense? It was black people. It was black people who came up to their defense. But somehow, black people ended up under their shoes. No more. It's time for us to really rise up, step up, and be about our business. This is what we need to be doing. Now, in closing, Garth, I'm going to say this to all the brothers and sisters. Look at the weather. What's going on? What's in front of your face? You see a storm that is not beneficial for you. If you want to continue to think you are part of the West, that is your business. That is absolutely your business. For those that knows that, hey, there's a storm and it's coming up against not just you as an individual, it's coming up against anybody that look like you. If you're a father, you have a wife, you got kids, it's against them too. It is time for us to start making decisions as to our livelihood and where this particular country is going and what it is absolutely trying to do. They painted a picture about the place or where you originated from, and it is not a correct picture. It is not. I, you know what I'm gonna do? The next time we do a live, Garth, I'm going to be in a particular area of Darsalam,
Okay.
and this is where the people with money live, and I'm gonna show you what they telling you is the reason why you should not come to Africa because you're gonna mess with their livelihood. And what's killing about it now? It seems that the government has taken notice of things because the locals they had their businesses here, but it seemed like the the white people came in and started complaining to some local governments, and they started moving the local businesses out because they had a fruit stand, but their fruit stand was outside. They want the stuff to go into a grocery store for presentation of a neighborhood.
Mm. Oh man.
No, this is the things. These are the things that they don't want you to see. I would show you the good, the bad, and what they may think is the ugly. You may think it's the ugly, but it's not the ugly. It's all how you perceive and how you take things. That's what it boils down to being.
I'll
Because I
be
tell
looking
you,
forward to that
if
tomorrow.
they talking about a food shortage, it won't happen here. Man, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got like 5 banana trees in the backyard over here, and one, two, three, four, four mango trees, one lime tree. What else? What else? What else? You just step outside and find you something to eat and keep it moving. That's what it is. Oh, and like one, two, three, three coconut trees. But I'm not climbing way up there. that's that's not my cup of tea. If I can't throw a rock up there and it come falling down, it will not come down. But these are the things that we have here. And the help that we can bring to our brothers and sisters when it comes to education, we can bring all of that. And they know this. This is the strength that we have. It's all about we using it and applying it to the place to where you are from. That's what we need to do. And I'm gonna tell you something else, Gar, before I close this out. At these schools where our sisters they have to cut their hair, not necessarily a ball, but they got to cut it low. That's not the case with the Arab girls. They do not cut their hair. And I said to myself, why is it that these little sisters, they got to cut their hair, but the Arab girls, they don't have to cut their hair. Why? Oh, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Woo! So, these are the things I have seen since I've been here and found out. And my encouragement to the brothers and sisters, click the link, let's talk, and let's see what we can come up with from a business aspect. And some of the businesses that we have put together, I know for a fact it's going to take more than it will take some individuals, as a group to implement certain businesses that we have put together. And but until then, I hope to speak with you brothers and sisters tomorrow. And it's like 12, it's like 1 o'clock now there, right, Garth?
Yeah, it's 1:03.
Okay. So, you brothers and sisters, be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. You're seeing what's going on. This is the all time of hatred. Watch your back when you in traffic. Just keep your head moving, because you don't know what these people what might not pop off. Because whether Kamala Harris is the president or Trump is the president, it still go pop off. I don't care how you look at it. It still go down the way we already thinking it's going to go down. We just need to be ready to grab our things and say, we out. That's it. And I hand it back to you, Brother Garth.
All right. Well, family, thank you for tuning in. The link is on up here to start.
That Sister Cynthia, okay, she said she's going to get in contact with about the daycare. Okay, all right. I'll be looking forward to you on that, sister, because there's a lot of potential that I've seen with the more so with the orphanage, and we'll talk. I'm sorry, Gar.
Oh no, I was about to say you could click on that link for a consultation to get in contact with Brother Mike to talk more about ideas of creating businesses on the continent, how we could come together in order to strengthen our nation and our community throughout the diaspora, not and just in Africa or in America. That's all I was about to say. And I was going to close out the show. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. We will be back tomorrow noon, same time, same channel. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And leave your feedback in the comments. Thank you, everyone.
Shalom.
Shalom.